So, as you can see in front of me here, I have a giant collection of tea. And today we're just going to be trying them. Trying every single brand. So, this video will be split into two parts slash sections. It's all going to be one video. But, basically, it's going to be this first part where I'm going to be trying all of the brands you can buy at stuff like gas stations, inside of supermarkets, that type of stuff. And then after that, I have some DoorDash orders coming that are going to be for the fast food places of Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's, since they're the biggest, and they're also some of the only ones that actually deliver sweet tea that I don't have to go out to the restaurant to do. So, let's go ahead and just start trying them. So, to start, I'm actually going to start with the Arizona bottled. Now, as I said in the thumbnail, this is inspired by C-Dog BA's video series where he tries every blank thing in Japan. And so similar to him, I got can and bottle versions of everything that had a can and bottle version, which is actually just one brand, which is the Arizona brand. Now, I don't know much about the actual brand itself. I just know that Arizona is really good. I really like it. So, in fact, I've been out of my normal mixed tea, because I normally mix tea with water to get my daily recommended water amount instead. But, for a while now, I've been waiting on a shipment of that to come in. That's how much I like tea. So, I'm actually going to interrupt myself here, because, the shipment came in the time it took between recording that and before the video was released. So I was like, yeah, I'll just add this in quick. But yeah, so this is Crystal Light Sweet Tea. It is a mixed tea where normally you would take a packet, and I believe one packet makes half a gallon. So I normally just make a gallon since I drink so much. But essentially you just sprinkle this into the appropriate amount of water, and it creates tea. I'm gonna try it now, because I literally just got this in. I haven't had any of it yet. And I am just drinking out of the canister the packets that normally come in. I washed it out, don't worry. But, yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah, so it's very similar to what the Arizona will end up tasting like, which I actually don't taste till the end of the video, almost. But it's basically a good balance between the bitterness and the sweetness that you would get in a typical sweet tea. Whereas you'll see that with a lot of them, they're either extremely sweet, or they are extremely bitter and more like actual tea. But this one and Arizona are both really good. Just want to interrupt quick because that did come in, and I wanted to include it in the video, because I do drink that one the most. So, for the water part, because it's basically like drinking water, just flavored. But anyway, I'll let you go back to the video now. And so I've been drinking this, so I already know I'm gonna like these. But, yeah, so we're actually gonna save this for the end. Actually, now that I think about it, because it's probably better, since I'm more experienced with those tastes currently, to have those at the end after I've tried all the other ones. So, actually, this one here, Brisk, it's a pretty big brand as far as I'm aware. You see it in pretty much it's one of those brands you see in every gas station. And this also was the most troublesome to get, because every gas station and store I went to was out of the sweet tea Brisk. So now, we have it here in our hands, and we are going to go ahead and try it. Well, I've already tried most of these at one point or another. I just don't remember their tastes exactly. Yeah, I don't know if it's just because it's cold, because I know that sometimes when things are like really cold, they can mask the flavor. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. If you really want a sweet beverage, a sweet tea, that is what I would say to get. That is a good one to grab. It's not awful, but it's not going to leave a massive impression on you. Like, you're not going to go, I'm going to go out and specifically buy the Brisk version of the sweet tea. So next we have Pure Leaf, which is one of those brands that claims to be natural made. In fact, I think we can see them. Yeah, we can see their promise here. Our real brewed difference. Taste iced tea the way it was meant to be. Brewed from real tea leaves. Fresh packed, carefully dried, and expertly brewed. Pure Leaf is never made from powder, so you can enjoy the delicious taste of real brewed iced tea in every bottle. And I just actually want to compare the nutrition facts on these. So, Brisk per serving. Brisk has a 12 fluid ounce serving size, and they are allegedly 70 calories per serving. And then this one has a serving size of a bottle, where the bottle is 18, so a little over. And it claims to have 160 calories per beverage. I just realized that's mirrored, probably, for you guys, but hopefully you can still read it. Yeah, so now let's try some Pure Leaf, which has more calories than the Brisk does. So hopefully it's sweeter. I'd say it's worse than the Brisk. If we're gonna go there, if we're gonna say some are better than others, which is obviously the point of the video. Because the thing about Pure Leaf is I think it is because it's not made from powder. It's actually not as sweet and has a lot of the actual tea taste in there, which is great if you like tea. Like, you just like drinking regular tea and you're just looking for a sweeter version of normal tea. This is definitely one to go to. But for someone like me who doesn't like who doesn't like the taste of actual coffee or tea and just likes the fact that these are normally sweet, yeah, no, that's not going to be one for me. But I guess I'm stuck with it now. Because I am going to drink all these. I'm not going to pour any of these down the drain. I'm actually going to keep these and drink them for however long they last me. But now, speaking of Pure Leaf, which I actually expect this one to be a little bit more bitter than the normal Pure Leaf, because this is Pure Leaf cold brew tea. Now, I don't know much about Pure Leaf, nor do I know much about this one, but this one seems to be the same thing as Pure Leaf, but they did whatever they did to the Pure Leaf tea with black tea instead. And so you actually notice, while they use the same color, they only call it sweet, slightly sweet, not actual sweet. So, and they didn't have a sweet version of this flavor, so this is the closest I could get. And I expect I'm gonna not like this one as much as the other one. And also, I'm really scared taking this around, because everything else is in a plastic bottle, so if I were to, say, drop it, it wouldn't make that much of a mess other than just the tea spilling. This is actually in a glass bottle, so this is not one you want to give your kids or something, because, yeah, they drop this is probably going to break. But we'll see. It also has a metal cap compared to a plastic cap. I don't really have... Well, actually, I'm standing this on something metal, so let's see if you can hear the ting. Yeah, so that's like maybe not a metal cap, maybe an aluminum cap. But anyway. Oh, and we already went over that the normal Pure Leaf is 160 calories, but the Pure Leaf was 160 calories. This is 100 calories less. So it definitely probably has a lot less sugar, I would imagine, or sweetener, or whatever they do to it to sweeten it. So about me saying that I wasn't going to pour any of these down the drain, yeah, no, it's not bad, honestly. It's just definitely a tea taste. Like, you can definitely tell, like, yes, I'm drinking tea. I'm not drinking something sweet and pleasant. I'm I'm drinking something that has caffeine. I'm drinking something bitter. Because, tea is bitter like coffee, from what I remember, from what I'm thinking. I don't know. Is tea supposed to be like coffee? I don't know. But anyway, the next one we have here is another one that claims to be natural and, made the correct way, which is Gold Peak Real Brewed Tea. And as you can see, it brands itself that it's made with cane sugar. It says Real Brewed, so it's obviously going for the same type of marketing as Pure Leaf. And so I imagine Gold Peak here will be probably about the same taste as Pure Leaf, where it's going to have a little bit of bitterness to the back of it on top of the sweetness. But let's see. That is oddly sweet. I mean, it does have 190 calories, so that's 30 calories more than Pure Leaf. So that is definitely probably a contributing factor. But I don't know if it's the cane sugar or what, but that registers to me as sweeter than other teas. I'm actually going to come back to this one. I'm going to try this one again once we do the Arizona, because I know the Arizona is really sweet and is about the sweetness that I like. So it's going to be interesting to try the Arizona and then go back to the Gold Peak and see if it is sweeter than normal, because it almost seems like it should be. But now we get into more of the store brands, and this is a Walmart branded one, which is Market Side Sweet Iced Tea, which they just sell this in front of the deli section. It's just this square jug of tea, and it's 110 calories, so it's about so it's about a little bit more than Brisk. Yeah, it's 40 more than Brisk, 40 more calories, if you care about that sort of thing. And this is 44 full ounces. I wish I remembered prices, so I could have given those to you guys, but it's Walmart, it's cheap, store brand. So now let's go ahead, open it up, and see, and, oh, this one does have one of those lift and peel ones, tabs, that are always really hard for me to get off, especially now that my hands are slightly wet from the sweat of the cold teas. There we go. Bottoms up. That tastes the same as Gold Peak, I think. Yeah, no, these are Gold Peak and Market Side. These two here, literally the exact same thing. At least to me, they taste the exact same. There is no difference between these two. So if you like this one but weren't sure about Gold Peak, or you like Gold Peak and weren't sure about the Walmart one, there you go. And if you like one, the Walmart one is more, and I'm 90% sure it would be cheaper, just because it's Walmart and it's more. But yeah, no, those are the exact same thing. To me, at least. And were they even the same as Brisk? I mean, obviously they're all going to have a similar flavor. They're all sweet tea, but... yeah, no. Because, see, while there is, of course, the sweet tea taste that, this one has, where it's sweet with, very slight fruit flavors in the back, Brisk definitely exaggerates the fruit flavors a bit more. So it actually has a bit more of a flavor to it. On top of that, has a really slight bit of bitterness as well. So it still, feels like you're drinking tea, but without being so bitter, like Pure Leaf was. Yeah, so now we have another store brand, which this one didn't come in a small, easy-to-carry bottle. No, this one only came in a frickin' jug. And this is one I got from Dan's Supermarket, I believe, is the correct one. It's either Dan's or Cashwise. But I got this, and it is just their version of sweet tea. It's essential every day. Now, I'm gonna pose a hypothesis. I'm going to assume that these two, the market side and the everyday essentials, are going to be the exact same thing as well. The reason why is because grocery stores will use what are called white label or private label products for their like generic brand products, which is essentially one factory or one company will create the same similar or the same product and just distribute it out, where supermarkets will then put their individual labels onto the exact same thing. So I imagine this one and this one are going to be the exact same thing, which would obviously mean this one is also the same as Gold Peak. But I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. We'll see. I'm going to try it now. I actually don't know if that's the same. Let's double back again. Yeah, no, this one's sweeter. They're almost the same thing. Like, they taste very similar. But this one, the Essential Everyday, is a bit sweeter than the market side version. Which also makes sense, because whereas the market side version is 110 calories, this one is 140 calories. And so that's probably just them adding a bit more sweetener to this one to make it that much sweeter. For whatever reason. Maybe the store requested a sweeter version. I don't know. Maybe it was just their way of trying to differentiate it. And now, other than the Arizona, the last thing we have here is the Mio for sweet tea, where it's another one of those things where it flavors water to taste like sweet tea, allegedly. And so I'm going to get some water and we're going to try this. Alright, so this is about a 20-ounce bottle, and as you can see, I filled about halfway because the Mio says that it makes a 8 fluid ounce serving. So we're just going to open this. And then it says, yeah, we just put in 1 squeeze. So 1 squeeze. And that's already becoming the color of sweet tea. Just make sure to shake it up. Make sure it gets all nice and mixed in there. And there, that is about the same color as our other teas. Though obviously they're a bit thicker in color. So let's go ahead and try it. Huh. That's not very flavorful. I mean, obviously, if you wanted more flavor, you can just add more Mio in. But in terms of just based off of that, it's definitely not as rich. It's not as, like, potent and sweet. Like, it's harder to tell the flavor than the other ones. And that might just be the fact that we've had a lot of strong teas, and now we're trying a weaker, more diluted tea. Which, I mean, you can tell from the color. So these are obviously darker, richer, and all that. Whereas this one is really light, especially when put right next to each other. So let's actually see how much Mio it would take to reach the same color. So we have this as the color we're trying to reach. We have this as our Mio. Another Mio version. Let's see if we can match this one over here. So that's now 2 squeezes, so we're now doing double the serving size of Mio. Shake it up just to be... Whoop! That almost fell. Just to be absolutely sure. And there. Now it's definitely a lot richer in color, and definitely a lot closer to to this one, the market side version. So let's now go ahead and see if it actually tastes closer to that. Because let's see if it actually tastes like the other sweet teas we've had today. Yeah. This suffers a lot from what I call drink mix syndrome. Which is that, I don't know if it's because it's powder, because it's liquid, or why. But with these drink mixes, when you put them in, they end up creating the same taste across the board. Like maybe there's some orange or whatever in there to make it whatever it's trying to claim it is. But ultimately, most drink mixes can't quite get there. And I don't know why that is, because it seems like a simple formula, just tea, sweet, but maybe it's harder to make the tea flavor, I guess. But I've just noticed that a lot, where it's like, especially with ones that try to be something more caffeinated without being caffeinated, where it's trying to make tea, it's trying to make soda, but not actually be tea or soda. It ends up creating this weird taste that just tastes very factory. Like it tastes really bitter, but also sweet, and just not at all like anything else. Yeah, so sorry, Mio, you're not gonna be our candidate today for a winner for the best tea. So now let's go ahead and get into these, the Arizonas that I brought in at the start. So we're gonna have the can off to the side here, because I will say from my other experience, because I bring a lot of these to work when I work at my normal job, because sadly this isn't my normal job yet, but I carry these for work because I work in a hot place. We need to stay hydrated, so I bring these. And I will say I definitely prefer the taste of the canned version over the bottle version. But we'll go ahead and try them. We'll see. Yeah, so with Arizona, it's kind of a good mix, because you had Pure Leaf, which, let me try and retrieve here. Because you had Pure Leaf, which was, in my opinion, way too bitter. But then you have something like Market Side, which is really, really sweet all the way over here. And then you have Arizona, where it's sweet, but it's also somewhat bitter. That just kind of in between them. It's not really bitter, but it's also not really sweet. So you just get this nice little flavor. But regardless. And then I think I also tasted a little bit of fruitiness in there as well. Let me check. Okay, no, the fruitiness I was just making up in my head. But it is that nice flavor where it's like the mix of the bitter and the sweet, but not overbearing of either. So it's just a nice, comfortable drink. Like, you don't have to feel like you're about to go on a sugar high vacation like you do with this one. But you don't have to feel like you're starting the worst morning of your life like you would with this one. But now we have the can here, which this one can't be resealed. So I'm going to have to drink this one pretty much right after I open it for the rest of the day, probably. But, bottoms up. Are you kidding?
Bruh.
They taste the same. I could have sworn that I tasted a difference in the bottle and the can. But there is no difference. whatever I thought I was tasting before, that was a lie. They are the exact same flavor. The can and the bottle doesn't change anything, as far as I can tell. Maybe there's some subtle nuance I'm not picking up on, but there's no difference there as far as I can tell. But now I have a lot of tea that I can just drink. And so now we're going to transition to the second part. So now we're going to transition, not really transition, to the second part of the video, where I will be having the fast food teas, which is going to be one from McDonald's, one from Burger King, and one from Wendy's. So I have the Wendy's cup here, and they didn't give me a straw. That's the thing with DoorDash. Sometimes they just don't give you straws or condiments and stuff. So I'm just going to use this metal straw I have, protect the environment anyway. Hopefully it doesn't fall in. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I got the Wendy's drink here. We're going to go ahead and try it. It's definitely a lot similar to the ones that we talked about before, the Gold Peak and the Market Side, I believe it was. Where it's the fruity flavor, it's the sweet flavor, and pretty much absolutely no bitterness whatsoever. And yeah, it's really good tea. Alright, I am here again. This is all post. I'm getting these delivered. I'm just recording these as they're delivered. But I got the Burger King one now, same metal straw. And we're going to go ahead and see how this one tastes. Yeah, again, it seems like all of these restaurant brands are just going to be like the really sweet brands like Gold Peak and Market Side. So, but we have one more. We have the McDonald's one, so we'll see what that one's like. And now to announce this video, I just got back with McDonald's. I tasted it in the car, and it's just Gold Peak again. Yeah, it's literally the same as the restaurant brand, so I think could probably title this video the Gold Peak Conspiracy or something like that. Because literally, all the restaurant brands I've tried, which is McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's, the store brands, Market Side, and Everyday Essentials, as well as all taste the exact same as what is branded as Gold Peak sweet tea. So that's a bit of interesting little nuggets there for information. And with that, I will be ending this video. So I'll leave you guys to the end card, and I'm apparently gonna start chugging tea now. And with that, it's time for me to head off. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and while you're down there, why not leave a comment with your thoughts? If you want to support me, I have a $1 and $5 tier on Patreon. The $1 tier gets your name at the end of each video, in the corner there, in the Patreon corner. And for $5, you get an avatar displayed on screen at the top, along with me saying your name out loud, like... Or, of course, you can support me for free by subscribing down below. And last but not least, I would like you all to remember to stay awesome.